capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embedded in them.
Right, see. Now, beta, when we talk of people as resource, it means we are talking about, one more boy has entered, let me enter him. We are talking about that human beings are as resource. It is fact, human beings are are acting as sorry resources. So how they can become resource? We have to develop human capital. We have to develop, my dear student, human capital through education, training, and medical care. Then only we can develop the, my dear student, what human resource or people as resource. Yes, there are 4 factor of production. Beta 4 factor होते हैं production के. There are 4 factor of production: land, labor, capital, and human capital. 4 factors of production are there. They are land, labor, capital, and we call them entrepreneur, or we call them producer, we call them human beings. We call them human beings or human capital. The right C. So read further.
People as resource is a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their exciting productive skills and ability. Looking at the population from this productive accept emphasizes its ability to contribute the creation of the gross national product. Like other resources, population also is a resource, a human resource. This is the positive side of a large population that is often overlooked when we look only at the negative side, considering only the problems of providing the population with food, education, and access to health facilities.
Now see, now people as a resource, right? My dear student, people as a resource is very important. It is very important resource because it can use all other 3 factors of production in an effective manner. Right? See, so in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities, looking at the population from this productive prospect, right? Productive prospect, it emphasizes on the creation made by the human beings, right? The creation made by human beings, right? Or you can say production made by human beings is called as gross domestic production, yeah, or gross national production. So human beings, or you can say human resources, are very important for
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon, beta, for developing beta, gross national income or gross domestic production, right? So like other resources, population also act as resource. Population is also a resource, and this resource is called as human resource. We call this resource as human resource. Now see, this human resource we can develop by providing them education, training, knowledge, and health facilities, right? See, in this way we can develop human resource. Read further.
When the exciting human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy, we call it human capital formation that adds to the productive power of the country, just like physical capital formation.
Now, here we have two things. When existing human resource develops, develops means in the sense of education, technical training, knowledge, experience, right? It becomes human capital formation. It becomes human capital formation, right? See, this human capital formation we can make like as we can develop physical capital formation. We can develop both. We can develop both physical capital formation. We can multiply by making investment and investment, but human capital sorry uh, human capital formation we can do by imparting training, knowledge, right? uh, Training, knowledge, or education among the existing population, among the existing population of the country. Then if the population is well trained, educated, right, literate, you can say they are aware to health facilities, right? So it means we have very good, my dear student, human capital formation. We have very good status of human resource, right? If the population is uneducated, illiterate, they don't know how to use any machines, right? They don't know how to, they don't have experience, right? Then it means we are wasting the human capital resource. Human resources, we are wasting human resource, and we will not be able to convert. It means we are not able to convert our human resources into human capital formation. So this you remember that, my dear student, to maintain human capital formation, we require education, training, knowledge, and all type of medical care, medical facilities. Okay, read further.
Investment in human capital through education, training, medical care yields a return just like investment in physical capital. This can be seen directly in the form of higher incomes earned because of higher productivity of the more educated or the better trained person, as well as the higher productivity of healthier people.
Now see, investment in human capital through education, training, that I told you, medical cares, right, can give us a good return, can give us a good return, right, can give us good return like investment made in the physical capital, investment made in physical capital. So it can utilize all the three other factors of production in very effective way. So that is why we require better and better human capital formation, right? See, so trained and better education, human education, or you can say education development, and you can say that helps in forming the human capital formation. So in this way we can create the best human capital formation. Read further.
सर सर कहाँ पर पढ़ रहे हो?
Last
सर कौन से पेज नंबर पर हो?
page number
16.
Page number 17. You have to start. We will start page number 17.
Not
पहले
only
ध्यान
do
रखा
the
कर
Not only do the more educated and the healthier people gain through higher incomes, society also gains in other indirect ways because the advantages of a more educated or healthier population spread to those also who themselves were not directly educated or given health care.
Now, yes, read for the full paragraph.
In fact, human capital is in one way superior to other resources like land and physical capital. Human resources can make use of land and capital Land and capital cannot become useful on its own.
Now see, now not only do the more educated and healthier people gain through higher incomes. You know, my dear student, if education exists in the country, education, experience, technical training, vocational training, knowledge, illiteracy, not illiteracy, illiteracy exists in the country, then people can earn higher amount of income. But my dear student, if society is not able to earn higher income, it means they are not educated and illiterate. They are not educated and illiterate. So my dear student, you know, education and health is most important criteria. Most important criteria, right? C was seen here. That is, you know, if we want to earn higher income and higher income, then we should make ourselves educated, right? Understanding, children? We should make ourselves educated and trained, experienced in order to earn very high quality of income. So this is the most important thing we should keep. Then when we are educated, we will understand the need of healthcare. We can take healthcare, right, schemes also, right? See, in this way we can make ourselves very healthy, happy and prosperous when we will have high income. We are able to earn high income, or we have high income, right? See, read further.
For many decades in India, a large population has been considered a liability rather than an asset.
Liability,
But
liability.
But
Sir,
a
what does it
large
mean?
We call it liability. Liability means, you can say responsibility, or you can call it responsibility. Liability means you can say, in Hindi we call it Uttardayiti. Uttardayiti. In Hindi we can call it Uttardayiti, right?
Yes, sir.
But a large population need not to be a burden for the economy. It can be turned into a productive asset by investment in human capital. For example, by spending resources on education and health for all, training of industrial and agriculture workers in use of the modern technology, useful scientific researches, and so on.
Now see, liability means responsibility for everything. Now see, my dear student, you know, for many decades in India, a large population has been considered a liability rather than assets. So if a country has more population, then what happens, my dear student? It means, like India, like China, it means, you know, it is liability. It is liability on the state, on the country, on the country's head, because it is not possible to give employment to all the population of the country if the size of population is very high, like India and, you know, China. Here people have China also, right? See, people have great liability. People are great liability on the state government, on the central government, because we are in excess. We are in excess amount, right? See, that is why people are not able to found the employment. Those people who are not educated, right? So if population is less, like in other European countries, America, Australia, right? See, then what happened? It becomes asset. Then it becomes asset means sampatti. Asset means property. It becomes property of the country. Otherwise, it will become liability. Liability means burden. Liability means, note down, burden. Burden on the head of country. Burden on the head of the country. But a large population need not to be burden for the economy. So generally we says that the large, large population is burden for the economy. But it is not necessary. If the population is educated, trained, and skillful, then what happened? It will earn its, it will earn, it will earn its employment. अपने आप का रोजगार ये अर्न कर लेगी, अपने आप ही रोजगार ये अर्न कर लेगी. So then it can be turned into a productive asset, right? If it is educated, trained, and is skillful, then this population will turn into, my dear student, it will turn into, asset, property of the country, right? Because the people, if the people are well educated, trained, and my dear student, see, skillful, experienced, then they will get job in those countries in which there is less population. They will migrate from India to other countries and in search of better job. They will get better job there. They will earn more and more amount of money, and they can send to their family members in living in India. So in this way, so my dear student, this uh, this population role is very important in the development of the country, and we are reading the chapter of people as resource. Now bas last story, after that I will not teach, right? Because time ही नहीं बचेगा उतना. Okay, now read
Yes, sir.
story of Sakal.
Story of Sakal. There were two friends, Vilas and Sakal, living in the same village, Simapur. Sakal was a 12-year-old boy. His mother, Sheila, looked after domestic chores. His father, Bhutta Chaudhary, worked in an agriculture field. Sakal helped his mother in domestic chores. He also looked after his
We call it
younger
chores.
brother.
We call it chores.
Sorry,
Chores कहते हैं बेटा, chores.
chores. Sakal helped his mother in domestic chores. He also looked after his younger brother Jittu and sister Sittu. His uncle Shyam had passed the matriculation examination but was sitting idle in the house as he had no job.
Idle.
Idle.
Learns English बेटा. ठीक है, मैं improve
Idle in the house as he had no job. Bhutta and Sheila were eager to teach Sakal. They forced him to join the village school, which he soon joined. He started studying and completed his higher secondary examination. His father persuaded him to continue his studies. He raised a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in computers. Sakal was meritorious and interested in study from the beginning. With great vigor and enthusiasm, he completed his course. After some time, he got a job in a private firm. He even designed a new kind of software. This software helped him increase the sale of the firm. His boss acknowledged his services and rewarded him with a promotion.
Now see, now today we are talking about Sakal, right? Sakal, Vilas and Sakal were two friends. Story. Rautsi, Mother Sheila is working in domestic chores, domestic household works, right? Father Bhutta Chaudhary worked in agriculture field, right? See. Father Bhutta Chaudhary. Sakal helped his mother in domestic chores, right? He also looked after his younger brother Jeetu and Sisti. Uncle Cham studied only till matric, right after, and he is sitting idle at home. Means he is not doing, idle means not doing anything. Bhutta and Sheila were eager to teach Sakal. Matlab both parents, Bhutta and Sheila, they wanted that Sakal should become educated and learn education. So they forced him to send him to the school, village school, right? After passing the village school, he went to study higher education, higher secondary examination, right? Then his father forced him, or you can say, convinced him to continue his studies, right? When he started his studying, my dear, you know, for this purpose, his father has to take the loan from the uh, government to provide him vocational training, vocational education and training. So he took the vocational training in computer. Then he got, after passing the vocational training course, he got the job because he was very hardworking, laborious, right, my dear student, and he got the job in a private firm where he designed a software which helped the firm to increase his sale. In this way, my dear student, he became in charge. He became uh, very good, computer operator and in computer system. So his boss or his owner acknowledge his, my dear student, acknowledge his skills and abilities and promoted him with high income. So for today, this much we will study, right? Because there is no other time to continue. So tomorrow, my dear student, day after tomorrow, I have already sent you homework. You know that? आपका homework आ गया SST का, civics के chapter 2 का, our constitution आ गया. बस वही करना है आपने सारा काम, right? NCERT questions, right? Okay. हाँ बस. Okay. Good day and bye.
Good day, sir.